This is episode 5 of the Brand Authority Podcast.
This is the Brand Authority Podcast, the show for growth-driven leaders who want to win more customers, increase revenue, and gain the competitive edge. Broadcasting from sunny Los Angeles, here's your host, Rebekah Radice.
I'm Rebekah Radice, the author of Social Media Mastery, a comprehensive guide to strategic growth, and the new online course, The Smart Guide to Marketing Your Business on Social Media. You can check it out at radiantla.com/Udemy. Today, we're talking about 5 effective brand building strategies to attract customers. If you want to grow your personal brand, and that's what this podcast is totally dedicated to, then you need to stop talking and start doing. If you found yourself talking about your brand, but not really doing anything about getting it online or doing those tough things every single day, like sales that you know you need to do, but you don't do because they're hard, well, that is what today's episode is all about. Going to help you attract the exact right customer your company needs. So the first way you can build your brand online and attract the exact right customers is a simple idea, simple strategy that's often overlooked. And it's this: stay engaged. Your brand is characterized by so much more than the content you share or just your visual brand. It's about the authority you create through the conversations that you have. It's defined by every action, every interaction that you have with those people online. So whether you're on Facebook, you're on Twitter, Instagram, wherever it is, you have to make a concerted effort to come back and actually get involved or stay involved in those conversations. And I think that's the rub, isn't it? As a company, you put into place maybe a strategy to share content, but you don't create an engagement plan, one where you consistently come back and interact with your audience online. And this alone is going to show that your company, your brand, it's not just robotically pushing out content, but that you're actually taking the time to get to know your audience and to build those meaningful connections. One vital piece to this is listening. So making sure that you have set up the right tool to listen and respond to that feedback that you're getting. Some of my favorite tools to listen and respond in real time or in that amount of time you've set up for yourself during the day are Sprout Social. Sprout Social I've been using for years and years, and they have this inbox, which makes it very simple. It pulls in all of your mentions from various channels so you can manage it all in one location. Another tool that I use on a daily basis is Brand24. So dependent on your price point, how much of a tool, so how robust you're looking for, both are excellent choices, or you can just use the notifications right within the app. You know, Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, everything is pulled into that one notification area. Just makes it a little bit more difficult to filter through, where with tools like Sprout Social and Brand24, you can keep up with very specific keywords for your brand. You can also filter based off of influence. So if you're wanting to really invest heavily in conversations with the most influential of those out there supporting and promoting your brand, you can do that. So it's highly targeted and a great way to quickly jump in, stay, and remain in those conversations. The second way to attract your ideal customer is to make your content, any kind of content you're creating, ridiculously valuable. It is really the absolute best way for you to build trust, increase engagement, and attract clients that are looking for your exact solution. So make use of your skills, your experience, and then give away those tidbits, those useful tips, something like a video tutorial or do a live live video on Instagram or Facebook or Twitter, or just share a simple how-to text-based post about what you've learned that day or what you just figured out within your business and how it's going to greatly impact those people using your product or your service or your app. So freely give of those thoughts and do it in real time. People really love to see what's going on with you throughout your day. You can also repurpose. So take past newsletters, maybe emails, other marketing collateral like ebooks or infographics, and turn them into quick tips. Whether it's information that saves your audience money, maybe helps them make money or win a negotiation, you're going to keep them tuned in and coming back for more with those snack-sized pieces of valuable information. Number 3, you want to get creative with your visual content. Visual content is a great way to build brand awareness and attract those customers that might have overlooked some of your content, but now they start seeing your branded visual content and you're creating that situation, which is that reticular activator, where all of a sudden they're connecting the dots between your business, your brand, your content, and now every time they see the color of your brand, boom, they start to think about you. You want to create that scenario in the mind of your audience. As humans, we have an amazing capacity to remember pictures. You hear a piece of information and 3 days later, you'll only remember 10% of it. But if you add a picture, now all of a sudden you remember 65%. This means that even if you're linking your text posts, they're just not performing that well. Well, you can boost your engagement and boost the memorableness, pretty sure that's not a word, of your visual content. Here's some ideas for you. First, you can create infographics. If you have an interesting article, maybe a social post that did extremely well, turn it into an infographic. Or share video tutorials. Again, you could take a blog post or an ebook and shrink it down into some quick tips. So maybe 3 tips in a video tutorial. You could also create some custom images. So maybe offer an answer to a frequently asked question. Ask a silly or off-the-cuff question that can easily be answered. Just make sure it's in line with your brand, because what are we trying to do here? We're trying to build brand authority. We're trying to attract those exact right customers. We talked about in our last episode, in episode 4, about how you can share a story. You can do that through visual content. Another great way to give pieces of your story away in quick snippets. Whatever you do, have fun with it. And as I said, keep it on brand. Make sure the colors, the fonts, the message, the voice that you're using is consistent. And not just consistent on one channel, but consistent across all of your online channels so that you're instantly recognizable, that no matter where somebody is connecting with you, they know exactly in just a blink of an eye that it is your content because it is so well aligned with who you are. Number 4, a critical piece to connecting with the exact right people online and making sure that you're building your brand at the same time is choosing the right timing. Timing is crucial regardless of how appealing your content might be. You might put out the best piece of content ever, but if you're sharing it at a time when your audience isn't actually online, what happens? It falls on deaf ears. So you want to make sure you are sharing your content at a time when most of your audience is online, not asleep, not at work, but actually engaging online. And to do this, there are several different ways you can get to the bottom of this and figure out exactly when they're engaging, when they're posting their own content, when they are looking for your content. And I'm certain you've read the posts on the best times to post. post? Well, the truth is, the best times to post are your best times. So to figure that out, you need to get into your Facebook Insights, your Instagram analytics, your Twitter analytics. You need to look at, where is your audience? Are they US based? Are they around the world? What time zone are they in? And then look at what times you've been posting previously. What kind of engagement are you getting on that content? There's a lot of tools out there too that will also help you start to get a feel for your best times to post. Tools like Audience, Follower Wonk by Moz, or Twiriad will give you a general idea, depending on how many followers you have, of the best times to post. But your best bet is to get into your analytics and actually look at when your audience is online and when they're engaging. And finally, and most importantly, number 5, if you want to build your brand online and attract your ideal customer, you have to be data driven. There's always room for experimentation. I'm a big fan of testing, taking a look at what works and what doesn't, but you cannot throw darts at a dartboard on a consistent basis and actually win the online game. Fortunately, almost every interaction in the online world, be it a like, maybe a click through or a comment, it's all measurable. The key is using those data points to keep track of how your decisions are affecting your business, and then to use those to make constant improvements. So basically, you're coming at it and you're making a hypothesis. You're assuming, based off of previous data, that A plus B equals C. You're putting that into place, and then you're using the data to determine if that is truly the case. You can use tools like Google Analytics to really get to the bottom of what type of content are people interacting with. Where are they coming from? So which social network is driving the most traffic, say to your website or to your blog? What content you've created in the past, maybe evergreen content that is popular today, it was popular a year ago, maybe 2 years ago, continues to drive traffic to your website. Look at all of that data to get a good feel for what you've talked about, what you've written about, what you've shared that your audience continues to interact with. Then look at those Facebook Insights, Twitter Analytics, maybe social dashboards that I talked about like Brand 24 that are going to allow you to take a deeper dive into your results. An important piece within this that a lot of people miss are what are called UTM parameters. Now, UTM or tracking codes are going to link Google Analytics to specific actions that your audience takes. So, for example, let's say, like in my case, I launch a book and I want to know if Facebook or Twitter or which social network are sending the most traffic to Amazon for my book. Well, I'm going to create separate UTM parameters or links for each one of those social networks. It could even be my email or it could be my blog post. I want to be able to track each of those individually, and you can do that. Google has a free tool, just like so many things they have free tools for, where you can create these UTM parameters. So don't forget to get very specific in tracking every single little detail so you're never wondering, did that traffic come from Facebook? Did it come from Twitter? Did it come from my blog? You know specifically which social network or which action or which of your communities is driving the most traffic. So a quick recap on 5 effective brand building strategies to attract customers. While there's no one-size-fits-all solution, you can attract new customers if you follow the right strategies. And not all 5 of these are going to be right for you. Just because they're right for one doesn't make them right for you. So share content, test. Get things out there that may be a little different or maybe make you a little uncomfortable. There's nothing wrong with testing as long as you have processes in place that will allow you to consistently do what's important, sharing that valuable content, creating content on a consistent basis, coming back and engaging with your audience. So many different ways that you can create that bridge between your business and your audience and start to build rapport on a day in and day out basis. And then don't forget, if you're a personal brand and you're managing both your personal profiles as well as your business, to come in and make those personal connections from you as well as the brand. It just creates a very different relationship, a different feel when you step out from behind the walls of your business and all of a sudden you start to create those personal connections. Do that and you will start creating that momentum. You will start building those relationships and attracting those exact right customers. Thanks for listening to the Brand Authority podcast brought to you by RadiantLA.com, helping growth-driven leaders win more customers, increase revenue, and gain the competitive edge. And as always, we're on episode 5. Woohoo! If you like what you have heard, please share your review on iTunes. It's such an important way and the only way that others are going to find us. So tweet it, put that in your Facebook post, share it on Instagram, wherever you are spending time, and just know how grateful I am and grateful we are that you are enjoying the Brand Authority podcast. Until next time, I look forward to connecting with you on social media at Rebekah Radice and seeing you back here for another episode of the Brand Authority podcast.